day, my name is Jemai Magakayan, a student nurse, and today I'll be demonstrating the hand washing. So the first action we're going to implement in hand washing procedure is to gather the necessary supplies, stand in front of the sink, and avoid your clothing to touch the sink, since the sink is considered to be contaminated and clothing may carry organisms from place to place. So we also need to remove all our jewelries if possible and secure it in a safe place. And a plain wedding band may remain in place. And the removal of jewelry facilitates proper cleansing, and microorganisms may accumulate in settings of jewelry. And if jewelry was worn during care, it should be left on during hand washing. And then we're going to turn on the water and adjust the force. Regulate the temperature until the water is warm, since water splashed from the contaminated sink will contaminate clothing. And warm water is more comfortable and is less likely to open up pores and remove oils from the skin. And organisms can lodge in roughened and broken areas of chapped skin. And wet the hands and wrist area. Keep the hands lower than the elbow to allow water to flow toward the fingertips. And water should flow from the cleaner area toward the more contaminated area, since hands are more contaminated than the forearms. Use about 1 teaspoon of liquid soap from the dispenser, or rinse bar soap, and lather thoroughly. Cover all areas of hands with the soap product. And then we're going to rinse the soap bar again and return it to soap rock. Rinsing the soap before and after use removes the lather, and which may contain microorganisms. With firm rubbing and circular motions, wash the palms, the back of the hands, each fingers, the areas between the fingers, the knuckles, and on the wrist and the forearms. Wash at least 1 inch above the area of contamination if hands are contaminated. And if hands are not visibly soiled, wash to 1 inch above the wrist. Since friction caused by firm rubbing and circular motion helps to loosen dirt and organisms that can lodge in between the fingers, in skin crevices of knuckles, on the palms, on the back of the hands, and on the wrist and forearms. Cleaning less contaminated area after hands are clean prevents spreading microorganisms from the hands to the forearms and wrist. Continue this friction motion for at least 15 seconds because the length of hand washing is determined by the degree of contamination. Use the opposite fingernails of hand or a clean orange wood stick to clean under the nails, because the area under the nails has a high microorganism counts, and organisms may remain under the nails where they can grow and be spread to other persons. And then we're going to rinse thoroughly with water flowing toward the fingertips. And we should keep the hands lower than the elbow. Running water rinses microorganisms and dirt into the sink. After rinsing the hands, we're going to use a paper towel or a towel to pat the hands dry, beginning with the fingers and moving upward toward the forearms. And if you are using paper towel, discard it immediately. Use another clean towel to turn off the faucet and discard towel without touching other clean hand. After drying the hands, you can use oil-free lotion on hands if desired because oil-free lotion helps to keep the skin soft and prevents chapping. It is the best applied after patient care is complete and from small personal containers. And oil-based lotion should be avoided because they can use deterioration of the gloves. And that's all. Thank you. In hand gloving procedure, the first action we're going to do is perform hand hygiene and put on PPE if indicated, since hand hygiene and PPE prevent the spread of microorganisms. And then we're going to identify the patient and explain the procedure to the patient. PPE is required based on transmission precautions. Patient identification validates the correct patient and correct procedure. Discussion and explanation help allay anxiety and prepare the patient for what to expect. And then we're going to check the sterile glove. See if the package is dry and unopened. Making sure that the date is still valid. Moisture contaminates a sterile package. Expiration date indicates the period that the package remains sterile. Place the sterile glove package on clean, dry surface at or above your waist. Moisture could contaminate the sterile gloves. Any considered object held below the waist is considered contaminated. Open the outside wrapper, carefully peeling the top layer back. Remove inner package, handling only the outside of it. This maintains sterility of gloves in inner packet. And then we're going to place the inner package on the work surface with the side labeled cup end closest to the body. Allows for ease of glove application. Carefully open the inner package. Fold open the top flap and then the bottom and sides. Take care not to touch the inner surface of the package of the gloves. The inner surface of the package is considered sterile. The outer 1-inch border of the inner package is considered contaminated. The sterile gloves are exposed with the cup end closest to the nurse. With the thumb and forefinger of the non-dominant hand, grasp the folded cup of the glove for the dominant hand, touching only the exposed inside of the glove. Unsterile hand touches only inside of the glove, outside remains sterile. Keeping the hands above the waistline, lift and hold the glove end of the inner package with the fingers down. Be careful it does not touch any unsterile object, since gloves is contaminated if it touches any unsterile objects. Carefully insert the dominant hand in the palm into glove and pull glove on. Leave the cuff folded until the opposite hand is gloved. Attempting to turn upward with unsterile hand may result in contamination of sterile glove. Hold the thumb of the glove hand upward and place the fingers of the glove hand inside the cup of the remaining glove. Lift it from the wrapper, taking care not to touch any with the gloves or hands, since thumb is less likely to become contaminated if held upward. Sterile surface touching sterile surface prevents contamination. And then we're going to carefully insert non-dominant hand into the glove. Pull the glove on, taking care that the skin does not touch any of the outer surface of the gloves. Sterile surface touching sterile surface prevents contamination. And then after that, slide the fingers of one hand under the cuff of the other hand, fully extend the cuff down the arm, touching only the sterile outside of the glove. Repeat for the remaining hand, since sterile surface touching sterile surface prevents contamination. Adjust the glove on both hands if necessary, touching only the sterile areas with other sterile areas. Since sterile surface touching sterile surface prevents contamination, continue with procedure as indicated. In removing soiled gloves, use dominant hand to grasp the opposite glove near the cuff end on the outside exposed area. Remove it by pulling it off, inverting it as it is pulled, keeping the contaminated area on the inside. Hold the removed glove in the remaining glove hand, since contaminated area does not come in contact with hands or wrist. Slide the fingers of the ungloved hand between the remaining glove and the wrist. Take care to avoid touching the outside surface of the glove, since contaminated area does not come in contact with hands or wrist. Remove it by pulling it off, inverting as it is pulled. And securing the first glove inside the second. Discard gloves in an appropriate container. Remove additional PPE if used, and perform hand hygiene. Proper disposal and removal of PPE reduces the risk of infection, transmission, and contamination of other items. Hand hygiene prevents the spread of microorganisms.